feel like you're always running from one thing to the next and constantly pushing things off until tomorrow? Or just tired of feeling like you aren't ever able to be productive and just have a moment for you? I feel that. And today we are going to uncover the big problem that is keeping you from being productive and present with your family. And if you're looking for other ways to help your weeks run a little bit more smoothly and free up some time, be sure to check out my Ultimate Weekly Planner, linked in the description below. Let's dive in. The biggest reason that we can't get things done productively is because we don't schedule enough margin into our days. And what is margin? Margin is just white space or blank space that is intentionally scheduled into our day. What's the point of margin? It allows us to breathe. When we are so jam-packed with to-dos and work, events, and activities, we don't have time to truly process and savor those precious moments in our life. It also allows some space for flexibility if things don't go exactly as we plan throughout the day. For instance, if you plan 30 minutes for dinner right after you get off of work, but didn't take into account having to go pick up your kids from daycare and then getting them out of the car, that already puts you behind in what you had anticipated it's going to take you to complete dinner. So how do we intentionally get that margin into our schedule? Well, the first thing is to plan out those big must-do items of your day and then schedule in the margin. How much time you budget for margin can range anywhere from 15 minutes to a few hours. It really just depends on your general daily routine or what your work schedule looks like. If you don't schedule that margin in right after those must-do items in your day, then you are guaranteed to overfill your schedule and then continue pushing off items, pushing off scheduling in margin till tomorrow indefinitely. Now, once you get your margin scheduled into your day, there's a few different ways that you can use it. For instance, you can use it as a buffer time, which just means that, if you're finishing up work and then transitioning into mom mode, then you can have like a 15-minute buffer of just, maybe it takes me a little bit longer at work than I expected, or, my mom responsibilities got pushed up a little bit. So you've got a little bit of wiggle room or buffer time to allow for that. You can also use it for reflection time. Maybe you just need 15 minutes in the middle of the day or the end of the day to just reflect on, how is my day going? Is there anything that I need to tweak? This is really important as you continue to build solid routines and rhythms that you enjoy and that are working for your family. You can also use margin as a no decision time. This is really like space for you to breathe and just rest, even if it's for a few minutes. And this can look like you telling your family, hey, for 15 minutes after I get off of work, I am going to just go sit in my room and decompress for a minute. I'm not going to make any decisions. You're not going to ask me about what we're having for dinner or what we're going to be doing tomorrow. This is no decision time for mom. Our margin time is so important because as moms, what I hear a lot is, I don't have enough time to do anything, and I just feel so overwhelmed by how many things I have to do and all the stuff I have going on. We have to have this margin to breathe and to rest, even if it's for a few minutes. It is so rejuvenating. And so I really want to encourage you to say no. Treat your margin as an appointment, like a doctor's appointment. And if you skip that doctor's appointment, they are calling you and bugging you about it. And then they're also going to charge you a $25 no-show fee, which nobody wants to pay. So treat your margin as a very important appointment on your calendar that you need to stick to. Another way to ensure that we're getting that margin in our day is to set limits on what we're doing. For instance, if you are cleaning, you might want to cap that at 4 hours a week. This might take a little bit of some trial and error to see, okay, can I actually get everything done that I really need to get done in 4 hours? If not, you might need to change that to, 6 hours a week. Or if 4 hours is too much, maybe you could bump it down to 3 hours. But whatever that cap is, honor the cap, okay? So you can use an app called Toggl, Toggl, that is very easy to just type in mopping the floor, start, stop, done. And it logs all of that and keeps track of it for you. And so then you can quickly see, all right, I've already hit my 4-hour mark for cleaning. Honor it and don't try and cram more stuff in. Now, like I said, it will take a little bit of some trial and error to see what is that sweet spot for your cap time. But once you find it, stick to it, because that's going to allow you to have that margin and schedule in the things that you want to schedule in. Because to be honest, if we look at cleaning as moms, we could clean 24/7 and never be done. It's never done. So put that cap on it so that you can actually have a manageable home, but also work on other things that you want to do and that are important to you. Another way to build margin into your day is to over budget for certain events and tasks. For instance, if you know it takes you about 5 minutes to do the dishes, you might want to budget anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to allow for unexpected interruptions, or maybe you went to go open the dishwasher and realized, oh, it was clean and now I gotta unload it, which is gonna add a few more minutes into that time. The last thing to keep in mind as we're trying to build margin into our schedule is to be realistic. And this kind of ties into the over budgeting our tasks piece, but we don't want to try and speed up tasks. We want to allot the necessary amount of time to get those tasks done. It's always better to be, realistic about it and be pleasantly surprised when we finish our task early than to not finish it in the time that we thought and then have to push off the rest of the stuff for our day and even, push off some of that margin that we might have already built in. Too many of us are flying through life without processing or reflecting at all. Hence the overwhelm, the chronic busyness, the excuses of, I'll just get to it later, or even the regret that I hear from moms of, I just wish I had spent more time enjoying my family. It gets us into trouble with depression, isolation, regret, or even bitterness as to how our lives are. And when that happens, go back to your why. Why did you have a family? What are your dreams for your family? Harness that to guide you into budgeting margin into every single day, no matter how small. Small allows for consistency, and consistency leads to growth, where margin will become second nature. Don't forget to grab my weekly planner linked in the description below if you're looking for more ways to free up some time and build more margin into your schedule. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on how to build a legacy of presence with your family. See you next time.